Good morning, students. Today I will discuss the topic on testing of statistical hypothesis. We all know that statistical background is essential for understanding algorithms and statistical properties that form the backbone of computer science. Statistics is used for data mining, speech recognition, artificial intelligence, data compression, network and traffic modeling, etc. Before starting our statistical hypothesis, first we have to know what is hypothesis. Hypothesis is a proposition which is likely to be either true or false. Proposition means a statement. So a statement is in terms of assumptive form. Whether it is true or false is hypothesis. So any assumption taking on a population regarding its probability distribution as its parameters called a statistical hypothesis. As for example, for any normal distribution, if we assume that mean of that particular distribution equal to 5, then our hypothesis is mean equal to 5. So hence, for statistical hypothesis, there may be one or more than one parameters. Let the parameters be theta 1, theta 2 up to theta r. We consider a set of these parameters by theta prime equal to theta 1 to theta r. Then the r-dimensional space defined by PR is the parametric space. As for example, parametric space for a normal distribution or normal population is P2 because for normal we have two parameters, one for mean and second one for standard deviation. For parametric space, always these parameters belongs to real number, and as standard deviation always positive, so for normal population your parametric space should be mean belongs to real number and your standard deviation from positive real number. Now there are basically two types of testing of hypothesis. One is simple hypothesis, second one is composite hypothesis. If a single value has been assigned corresponding to each of the parameter, then we can say that the hypothesis is simple. But if more than one value has been assigned against one or more parameter, then associated hypothesis is called composite hypothesis. So simple hypothesis means only one value, composite hypothesis means more than one value. As for example, suppose for a normal population M and sigma be taken in such a way that your standard deviation sigma be known. Then if we take the hypothesis such that mean equal to 1, then for this case as mean takes only one value, so it's a simple hypothesis. But if we take the hypothesis as M not equal to 1, so other than 1 it can take any value. Again, if we take the hypothesis as M greater than 1, so in the positive sense for any values of greater than 1 be taken as the mean. Similarly, if we take the mean from 2 to 10, there are infinite number of real numbers between 2 to 10. So, for these three type of hypothesis, more than one value is assigned. So, it's a composite hypothesis. Similarly, when sigma be unknown, and if we take the hypothesis as M1 equal to 1, then also it's a composite hypothesis because if sigma be unknown, sigma can take more than one values also. Now, testing of hypothesis, in general, we cannot test a single hypothesis. We test a hypothesis on the basis of given simple observation against another hypothesis, such that the way that these two hypotheses are basically termed as null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. Null hypothesis is a statistical hypothesis whose possible acceptance or rejection is tested on the basis of sample observation. It is basically denoted by the term H0. An alternative hypothesis is exactly opposite or different from null hypothesis. It is denoted by H1. Alternate hypothesis denoted into two categories, one-sided or both-sided. If theta be the parameter and if we take the null hypothesis as theta equal to theta 0, then your one-sided alternative hypothesis may be theta greater than theta 0 or theta less than theta 0. For greater than, it is right-sided alternative hypothesis. For less than, it is left-sided alternative hypothesis. Similarly, if theta equal to theta 0 be the null hypothesis, if we take theta not equal to theta 0 of alternative 1, then it is called both-sided because theta not equal to theta 0 means it may be on positive side, it may be on left side also. Before starting the problem regarding statistics, first we have to know the basic three parameters regarding acceptance or rejection of null hypothesis. That three parameters are critical region, region of acceptance, and level of significance. Usually, for any kind of statistical problem, first always we have to choose an appropriate statistic. We can choose Z-test, we can choose T-test, or we can choose chi-square test as our test statistic. Let H0 be a null hypothesis and let T be the appropriate statistic. Let probability of A to B of the T be equal to 1 minus alpha. Then this alpha is called level of significance. Now if for the test statistic the computed value lies within A to B, then we can say H0 is accepted and the region, that is interval from A to B, is called region of acceptance. And if T lies beyond AB, then we can say H0 is rejected and the region beyond AB is called critical region at alpha level of significance. That means if we concentrate a normal curve, as normal curve is symmetrical about its main axis, so it is minus A to A rather than from A to B. Now if the test statistic value lies within minus A to A, that is within this region, then H0 will be accepted and the region is called acceptance region. And if the computed value of test statistics lie within this shaded region or within this shaded region, then H0 will be rejected and the shaded region are called region of critical or critical region. For any kind of problem, we have to maintain this procedure of testing of hypothesis. First, we have to determine the parameter to be tested. Second, we have to write our null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. Third, we have to choose our suitable statistic. Fourth, we have to find our computed value of suitable statistics. Then we have to determine our critical region and we have to see whether our computed value lies within our critical region or not. If the computed value lies within our critical region, then H0 will be rejected. If the computed value of statistical test lies outside critical region, then H0 will be accepted. Now consider the first example. A random sample of 200 tins coconut oil gave an average weight of 4.95 kg with a standard deviation 0.21. Do we accept that the hypothesis of net weight is 5 kg per tin 1% level? Given that probability of mod z greater than 2.58 is 0.01. 1% means 1 by 100, that is 0.01. So according to given condition, we have to check the problem regarding z-test because given value is given, given probability is given about z. Now here sample size, that is small n equal to 200. Computed value of mean x bar equal to 4.95. Standard deviation sigma given as 0.21. We have to check for the weight of 5 kg. So we have to take our null hypothesis as mean equal to 5 and our alternative hypothesis as mu not equal to 5. For z statistics, the formula is z equal to x bar minus mu by sigma by root n. By putting these values, x bar equal to 4.95, mu equal to 5, sigma equal to 0.21 and n equal to 200, we get our computed value as minus 3.33. It is given that for 1% level, probability of mod z greater than 2.58 equal to 0.01. So if we draw the normal curve from 2.58 to plus infinity and from minus 2.58 to minus infinity, these are critical region because mod z greater than 2.58 equal to 0.01. So on positive side as well as negative side, both are in critical region. Now what is your computed value? Your computed value is minus 3.33 and this value lies within this shaded region. As I told before, if your computed value lies within your critical region, then H0 will be rejected or H1 will be accepted. H0 rejected, that means your net weight is not 5 kg part. Similarly, if we consider the second example, from a large population of sample size 400 is drawn with mean 171.38. Can it be reasonably regarded as the mean of the population 171.17? The standard deviation is 3.30. Test at 5% level of significance. So here your sample size n equal to 400. X bar, that is observed mean, is 171.38. We have to check for the mean of 171.17. So your null hypothesis H0 will be mu equal to 171.17. So alternative hypothesis is different from H0, that is mu not equal to 171.17. As here given value is regarding Z test, so Z equal to X bar minus mu by sigma by root 10, and yields the result as 1.27. Now we have to check at 5% level of significance. 5% means 5 by 100, that is 0.05. It is given that probability of mod Z greater than 1.96 is 0.05. That is from 1.96 to plus infinity, and from minus 1.96 to minus infinity is our critical region. So the shaded portion is our critical region. And our computed value of Z is 1.27. 1.27 lies outside the critical region. When the computed value lies outside the critical region, then H0 accepted. That is, mean of the population is 171.17. Now, see carefully by above two example, a null hypothesis H0 is tested on the basis of sample values only. For this reason, it is no guarantee that we always take right decision regarding acceptance or rejection of H0. There may occur an error in taking the decision. According to the error, we have basically two kind of error we faced. First is type 1 error. Type 1 error occurred when H0 is rejected though it was really true. And type 2 error occurred when H0 accepted though it was really false. Whenever type 1 or type 2 error occurs, always we have to find the probability of error. Now probability of type 1 error occurred when we reject H0 though it was really true. So probability of type 1 error is probability of rejection of H0 on the hypothesis that H0 is true. Similarly, type 2 error occurred when we accept H0 but it was really false. We accept H0 means, suppose we take the parameter as theta, so we accept H0 for theta equal to theta 0. But the actual value of theta is not equal to theta 0. May the actual value of theta be equal to theta 1. Then the probability of type 2 error will be probability of acceptance of H0 on the hypothesis that theta is theta 1. We cannot check for theta equal not equal to theta 0. We have to check for theta equal to theta 1. Let us consider one example. In order to test whether a coin is perfect, the coin is tossed 5 times. And the null hypothesis of perfectness is rejected if more than 4 heads are obtained. For coin, we know that probability of head is 1 by 2. And the coin is tossed 5 times. So it's a discrete distribution and obviously binomial. So if we take the probability as F equal to R in the form of probability of R heads in 5 times, then it is 5CR P to the power R 1 minus P to the power 5 minus R definitely. Now what is type 1? Type 1 is probability of rejection of H0 on the hypothesis that H0 is true. And according to the problem, H0 is rejected if more than 4 heads are obtained. So for type 1 error, if greater than 4, as we have tossed only 5 times, so F greater than 4 means actually probability of F equal to 5. Now putting the R equal to 5 in the problem on the given formula, we will get the probability value as 1 by 32. Next we have to consider find the probability of type 2 error when the corresponding probability of head is 0.2. That is theta not equal to theta 0. Theta equal to theta 1. And the value of theta 1 is 0.2. So probability of type 2 is acceptance of H0 on the hypothesis that the theta equal to theta 1. Now, according to given problem, null hypothesis reject if more than 4 heads are obtained. So definitely null hypothesis will accept only when 4 or less than 4 number of head obtains. So for type 2 we have to calculate probability of acceptance. So probability of acceptance for this problem is probability of f less equal to 4. That is, by probability we can calculate 1 minus probability of f greater than 4. F greater than 4 means probability of f equal to 5. But remember, type 2 problem will be solvable by the value of theta equal to theta 1. According to problem, your value of probability corresponding to head is 0.2. So here we have to replace p by 0.2. And then you will get the probability of your type 2 error as 0.99968.